Friends, hope you all are doing good at your homes. So, today we'll continue the remaining portion of the chapter Climate. So, in this portion, we'll study about seasons of India. So, there are basically four seasons identified in India. So, what are those seasons? We will study it one by one. The cold weather season, it is also called winter. The cold weather season begins from mid November and stays till February in northern part of India, with December and January as the coldest months. The temperature decreases from south to north. For instance, the average temperature of Chennai on the eastern coast is between 24 degree to 25 degrees C, while in northern plains it ranges between 10 to 15 degrees C. During the season, frost occurs in the northern plains and snow falls in the high mountainous regions of Himalayas. As the northeastern trade wind blows during the period, most of the country remains dry except Tamil Nadu and southern Andhra Pradesh, where winds picking up moisture from the Bay of Bengal. So now we'll study the features of cold weather season. The characteristics features of cold weather seasons are clear sky, low temperature and humidity, and weak variable winds are the characteristics of the weather during the period. There is an inflow of cyclonic disturbances from the west and the northwest, which have originated over the Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia. They cause winter rains, locally known as Mahavar. It is good for rabi crops over the plains and snowfall in the mountains. The peninsular region has moderating effect from sea and hence it doesn't have well defined cold season. Also, there is hardly any noticeable change in temperature pattern. So, second one is the hot weather season. It is also known as summer season. The hot weather season starts in March with apparent movement of sun towards north and lasts up to the end of the May. So now we'll study the features of hot weather season. The characteristics features of hot weather season are the temperature of the northern part of India goes up and the atmospheric pressure comes down. Towards the end of May, an elongated low pressure area develops in the region extending from Thar Desert in northwest to Patna and Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east and southeast. This results into beginning of air circulation around this trough. A hot, gusty and dry wind, locally known as Lu, blows during the season over the north and northwestern India. Dust storms are very common in North India in the month of May. They bring temporary relief from the heat by lowering the temperature and may also cause light rain and cold breeze. Localized thunderstorms also occurs during summer, which may have high speed winds and even precipitate hail. Such thunderstorms are called Kal Baisakhi in West Bengal. Near the end of summer, there may be pre-monsoon showers. These are called mango showers in Kerala and Karnataka as they help in early ripening of the mango fruits. The influence of the shifting of heat belt can be seen from temperature recordings taken during March to May at different latitudes. In March, the highest temperature is about 38 degrees C recorded in Deccan Plateau. Temperature in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh is around 42 degrees C in the month of April. In May, northwestern parts of country experience temperature around 45 degrees C. Due to moderating influence of the oceans, temperature remains lower in peninsular India. Next is our advancing monsoon. It is also called the rainy season, advance of southwest monsoon. The low pressure area over the northern plains intensifies by mid-June and attracts the trade winds. These trade winds originate over the warm tropical ocean in the southern hemisphere. After crossing equator, these blow in the southwest direction, entering the Indian peninsula as southwest monsoon. They cover the entire subcontinent except extreme northwest in just 1 or 2 months. Maximum rainfall due to these winds occur in northeastern India, mainly in Meghalaya and Assam, and the windward side of the Western Ghats, Thiruvananthapuram to Mumbai, as the winds bring abundant moisture to subcontinent at velocity of 30 km per hour. So rainfall in Western Ghats and Deccan Plateau. The monsoon winds cover the country in about a month. The windward side of Western Ghats receive very heavy rainfall, more than 250 centimeters in the early season, while the rain shadow area, the Deccan Plateau and parts of Madhya Pradesh also receive some amount of rainfall. Now we will study the features of advancing monsoon. So features of advancing monsoon are wet and dry spells. Monsoon in India does not bring continuous rainfall. It has wet and dry spells. We can say breaks in rainfall. These breaks in monsoon are related to movement of monsoon trough. So what are monsoon trough? The trough as its axis keeping on moving north to south and back to determine periodic breaks in rainfall. When the axis of the trough lies over the plains, the region gets good rainfall. With the northward movement of axis, the Himalayan region get widespread rain, which is the catchment area of various rivers. Tropical depression. Frequency and intensity of tropical depression determines amount and duration of the monsoon. It forms at the head of the Bay of Bengal and cross over to mainland. These depressions follow the axis of the monsoon trough of low pressure. Next is our retreating or post monsoon season. It is the transition season. When the sun starts shifting towards the south during October, November, the low pressure trough over the northern plains is replaced gradually by high pressure system. This is followed by the southwest monsoon winds. By the beginning of October, the monsoon withdraws from the northern plain and dry winter conditions prevail by the end of November. So what are the features of retreating monsoon? First one is the period is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. The day temperature are high but nights are cool and pleasant. Due to the high temperature and humidity, the heat is oppressive. This phenomenon is also called October heat. Monsoon as a unifying bond. So why is monsoon is called a unifying bond? Northern India has comparatively higher temperatures than other areas of the world at a similar latitude due to the Himalayas protecting it from the cold Central Asian winds. The peninsular plateau has moderate temperature due to the influence of the sea on three sides. The monsoon unites the land because it provides a rhythmic cycle of seasons. The vegetation, animal life, and agricultural activities are all revolving around the effects of the monsoon. The life of the people, the celebrations of festivals, and other activities all are geared to the monsoon as India is still primarily an agricultural nation. The monsoon provides the water to set agricultural activities in motion and hence the arrival of the monsoon is awaited eagerly. The river valley which carry this water also unite as single river valley units. So monsoon is considered as a unifying factor. So students, we have completed this chapter from your NCERT geography book and the chapter is climate. So we will meet in our next video. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.